Wow, what a difference it makes when audiences care for and are invested in the characters and story. You just enjoy it. You can't help but have fun with it. But critics in the access media have been criticizing Netflix's adaptation of One Piece. Apparently, the show isn't political or diverse enough for their taste. Story seems to be second fiddle to diversity and inclusion for these trolls. But if the show is so bad, according to the critics, why is it so popular with the fans? Join me, dear viewer, as I dive deep into the controversy with Netflix's One Piece. One Piece as a show is actually anti-nihilistic. There's something glorious about a character that just wants to go on an adventure, a character that wants to explore the world for the sheer joy of doing it. As the season goes on, we see there are more layers to the character, and that's what good storytelling is all about. Through these snippets into the character, we get to learn more about him, and he can develop in front of us naturally and organically, rather than the boring corporate sludge that Disney has been pumping out. It's been a while since we had one of those. But if you follow anime, Luffy is an archetype that goes back to such classics as Speed Racer, Seven Deadly Sins, and One Punch Man. In any good story, audiences want to see characters who approach situations from a positive perspective, but it's through their positivity that they may get too confident and screw up and have to resolve the issues which they themselves have created. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and it seems that the Marvel Cinematic Universe has lost its way when it comes to that. They've devolved into the same formulaic tropes over and over again, and that's why audiences have tuned out since Avengers Endgame. The One Piece live-action adaptation has shown to be a masterclass in character development. It's the best character work I've seen in many years. The audience knows where the character is, who he likes, what their motivations are. And this all happens in an episode and a half? There was more character development in the first episode of One Piece than there has been in anything that Disney Star Wars has come out with. This show is just a joy to watch. I do hope that Hollywood learns from this, because it's quite simple, really. At its core, it's a hero's journey, but it also has a multi-layered world that's fun, and it's a joy to learn more about the story. What's more is that it's visually spectacular and beautiful. What makes One Piece stand out from the sludge that is the dark age of cinema is that it does have archetypal characters. They are characters that embrace who they are, and there's no cynical effort to deconstruct who they are, as was the case with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and many others. A lot of the reason for the success of One Piece on Netflix is Eiichiro Oda's influence. Oda has the power because the original manga is the best-selling manga of all time, even going so far as selling more volumes than Batman, which has been out for 80 years. One Piece has been destroying what woke Hollywood has been churning out, and now people are taking notice. The success of One Piece has snowballed and reached critical mass. When I hear random people in the office talk about One Piece, when they usually discuss the Giants or the Yankees, I think there's something going on here. Hollywood is not happy about the success of One Piece either. Members of the esteemed access media have been lukewarm, which is a stark contrast from the fans of the show has generated since it released. But the actors and the creator of One Piece himself have fired back. In interviews, Iñaki Godoy has stated that respect for the source material was of the utmost importance. He defended the adaptation because he knew how dear it was to the fans of the anime and how difficult it would be to adapt it to live action. Adapting such a rich backstory with wildly varying characters and environments into live action is certainly no easy feat. But it seems that the showrunners over at Netflix have cracked the code. I guess installing Arnold Schwarzenegger as Chief Action Officer must have really done the trick.
No one loves action as much as I do. That's why I've accepted the big new job as Netflix's Chief Action Officer.
The explosions you asked for?
Bigger.
The intimate involvement of Eiichiro Oda cannot go overlooked either. Oda explicitly gave his permission to adapt it to live action as long as he maintained creative control. And what a difference that makes. Netflix didn't put its own spin on things or bring in any woke or political agendas into the show. Instead, they focused on the fun and whimsy of it all. It turns out that audiences really respond to that. People just want a break from all the polarization and division, and Netflix has delivered that break. Some, including those activists over at Disney, actually complained about the adaptation being faithful to the source material. Some of these woke trolls have complained that the show wasn't political enough. That's funny because the original anime was extremely political, but these woke trolls never watched a single episode of the original anime. Eiichiro Oda fired back at his critics and actually called out Disney for how terrible their live action adaptations have been. I guess that must have shut them up because it's been crickets over there. One Piece continues to dominate headlines with how awesome of a show it is. Season 2 has already been confirmed, and I for one cannot wait to see what Netflix and Eiichiro Oda have in store. Season 2 has already been confirmed, and I for one cannot wait to see what Netflix and Eiichiro Oda have in store for us. But what are your thoughts on this? Do you think One Piece delivers the break that everyone wanted from all the woke nonsense? Please do let me know down below in the comments. And as always, hit that like button, ring that notification bell, and smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.